In this example, we're writing the equation of a circle in standard form, and we have to give the center and the radius at the very end when we are done. Right now, the equation of the circle in pink that you see is given to us in in general form, but we're wanting it in standard form. Standard form is basically, well, it is um, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we have to take what's in pink and make it look different, but be equal to the same thing and put it in standard form. The way we're going to do that is by completing the square. So what I do, I put all of my x's, I sort of kind of group them together, and I leave a space, and then I write my y's down plus y squared plus 8y, and I leave some room to work. And then I have plus 5, but what I'm going to do with the plus 5, I'm going to subtract it from both sides and write it equal to negative 5. Okay, so now what I do next, I call it, and let me write it off to the side so we have plenty of room. I call it half it, square it, add it, okay, to both sides. Okay, and from there we would simplify. Half it, square it, add it, simplify. Okay, um, so what is it? What are we halving? What are we squaring? What are we adding? It is the b term, okay? So the thing that's paired with the variable to the first power. So 6x, 8y. And what we're doing, see, I say b term because we're looking at it as if it were in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, that's where I'm saying b term. And basically, half it, square it, add it, subtract it is saying, or excuse me, half it, square it, add it is saying b divided by 2, because that's half of b, and then we square it. So we could also think of it as, instead of saying half it, square it, add it, we could say b over 2 squared. So here's the actual work. So half of 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So I add 9 to both sides. So let's just check what I did. I halved negative 6. I squared negative 6 to get 9. And then I added it to both sides. I haven't quite simplified yet. Let's keep going. Okay, now I'm looking at the y's. Half of 8 squared, excuse me, half of 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So I add 16 to both sides. And so now I can simplify. Negative 5 plus 9 plus negative 5 plus 9 plus 16 is 20. And now, right here on the left side, I don't just add things together because there are no like terms except for the 9 and 16. What I've done by completing the square is I've created two perfect square trinomials. So I just factored the trinomials. So what I want to do, I want to think of the factors of 9 that add to give me negative 6, and they're really just negative 3 and negative 3. Okay, negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Negative 3 plus negative 3 is 6. Okay, well, what's the factors of 16 that add to give me 8? Y plus 4 and y plus 4. And a prettier way to write what I just factored out is, well, when I say x minus 3 times x minus 3, that's really x minus 3 squared. And then when I say y plus 4 times y plus 4, that's really y plus 4 squared equals 20. So now we're in the form of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. I want to rewrite it just a bit so I can clearly find out what my what my h, k, and r would be, and so that would be x minus a positive 3 squared plus y minus, okay, in order to get y plus 4, and if I'm going to write it as y minus, I would write y minus a negative 4, because minus a negative is the same thing as plus 4. Okay, so y minus negative 4 squared equals, okay, something squared. How can I write that? Well, it would be the square root of 20 squared. So what that tells me is my center is the point 3, negative 4, and my radius is the point, is the number, or is the radical square root of 20. But to simplify that radical, 20 is 2 times 10, and 10 is 2 times 5. So I would really want to write it as 2 square roots of 5. The 2 repeats, so it comes out once, and 5 doesn't repeat. So your final answer would be the radius of 2 square roots of 5, the center of 3, negative 4, and then it also asked us to write the equation of the circle in standard form.